Welcome to Ambitious Labs. My name is Aleem and I'm the founder and CEO of the world's fastest growing no-code app building academy. My vision is to empower everyone with the skills, resources, and knowledge they need to learn how to build high-quality apps without needing to know how to code. Through our action-packed virtual programs, we've trained over 1,000 builders from all around the world. And in this video, I'm gonna teach you how we've managed to launch countless successful app businesses using our Dreams into Apps blueprint. Over the past 8 years, I've built dozens of apps for the biggest brands in the United States, like PrizePicks, the #1 sports app in the App Store. Millions of people have touched the apps that I've built, and now I'm on a mission to teach people like you how you can do the same. And for each of the apps that I've built, I've literally written every single line of code by hand, and it drove me nuts. But now we're in a completely different era of app development driven by two technological advancements, no code and AI. These are two massive paradigm shifts that have made it easier than ever before to bring any app idea to life without needing any technical experience. And before we go any further, let me demystify 3 things for you real quick. Number 1, you don't need to know any level of coding to be successful at Ambitious Labs. In fact, 99% of our builders have just basic knowledge of HTML and CSS, and they don't have computer science degree. Number 2, the apps that you build inside of Ambitious Labs are capable of serving millions of users, because our no-code stack actually writes the code under the hood and is backed by Google technologies like Flutter and Firebase. And number 3, this is one that you probably don't want to hear, but it's absolutely true. No-code and AI is and will continue to replace tens of thousands of jobs every single month. Big tech companies are executing massive layoffs because now with no code and AI, they can easily replace their bloated workforce. Now companies are looking for people who can own and operate AI tools just like the ones you're about to learn in the Dreams into Apps blueprint. All right, so that being said, the cost of not taking this training seriously could cost you thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars by getting left behind in the no-code AI revolution. So buckle up, because over the next 40 minutes, we're gonna dive deep into the Dreams into Apps blueprint, and I'm gonna teach you step by step exactly how we've been able to consistently produce results for our students. First, let's talk about Iomi. She's the founder and CEO of Canopy App. She found Ambitious Labs when she was getting a little sick and tired of working her cushy 9-to-5 job at TikTok. She joined the Dreams into Apps accelerator of March of 2023 with an idea to build a community app for social media creators. So over the course of 3 months, she worked with us to launch her MVP, her minimum viable product. And since then, she's gone off to get into Techstars, raise $250,000 of venture capital, get her app featured on TechCrunch, and her app got blasted on the big screen at Times Square. Then we have Torrance, who has a very similar story. He was a logistics manager at one of the top logistics companies in the world and wanted to scratch an itch for an idea he had around making vehicle services more accessible and affordable to busy working professionals. Torrance leveraged the MVP that he built inside of Ambitious Labs and leveraged that to get into a local Atlanta startup accelerator, where he completely changed the trajectory of his life and met people he wouldn't have dreamt of meeting before, like the CEO of Calendly, a billionaire tech startup founder. And then recently in 2024, we had Luis start the year off with a bang, launching Vora.io. So now he has dozens of partners onboarded into the platform, a sales team on the ground actively recruiting more customers, and he just raised his first round of funding to pour more fuel on the fire and take his app to the next level. So when you get to know me, you'll learn that I'm obsessed with our students, and it's not because of how successful they're becoming, it's because they come from all different walks of life, and although they don't have any technical expertise, they're extremely passionate about a specific niche, or they have domain expertise about a specific market, and they're willing to roll up their sleeves and do something they've never done before, like building an app. And that's exactly the power that no code and AI unlocks. Now anyone with domain expertise or passion over a specific niche can bring any idea to life just by clicking, pointing, dragging and dropping, and putting together a very high quality system without needing to know how to code. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Maybe you'll believe the CEO of NVIDIA, the #1 AI chip company in the world, Jensen Huang.
These are amazing times because we're at the beginning of a new industrial revolution. You probably recall, over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program. And that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. For the very first time, we have closed the gap. The technology divide has been completely closed. And it's the reason why so many people can engage artificial intelligence. It is the reason why every single government, every single industrial conference, every single company is talking about artificial intelligence today. Because for the very first time, you can imagine everybody in your company being a technologist. Now can utilize technology that is readily available to you. You now have a computer that will do what you tell it to do, to help automate your work, to amplify your productivity, to make you more efficient. And so I think that this is just a tremendous time. The impact, of course, is great, and your imperative to activate and take advantage of the technology is absolutely immediate, and also to realize that to engage AI is a lot easier now than at any time in the history of computing. It is vital that we upskill everyone, and the upskilling process, I believe, will be delightful, surprising, to realize that this computer can perform all these things that you're instructing it to do and doing it so easily.
What I'm about to teach you will absolutely change your perspective on building apps and the technology landscape for the rest of your life. But before we embark on this training, I want to take a moment to introduce my co-founder, Adrian, a successful app entrepreneur who built an app called Lure that generated $10 million in revenue, utilizing the exact Dreams into Apps blueprint that you're about to learn.
This blueprint will enable you to design, build, and launch quality apps without relying on anyone else. This is a crucial step in the process as it will enable you to have control over your product and roadmap. I personally have an engineering degree from a top university in Silicon Valley. All the skills I used to build a $10 million app were skills I learned in the startup space, not the classroom. Publishing my first app in high school changed the trajectory of my life in ways I couldn't have imagined before. There are a countless number of simple, easy to build apps on the App Store and Google Play that pull in hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. These apps are well in the scope of what's possible to build using the Dreams into Apps blueprint. You don't need a groundbreaking idea or crazy technical skills to build an app that generates ridiculous revenues. For example, when I started Lure, I did my research and I found out that there are already hundreds of viral short storytelling apps that were pulling in tens of millions of dollars. So instead of fearing the competition, we found a niche that was underserved: romance love stories. So even though we were a relatively small fish in the sea, we quickly trended and we were able to grow our annual revenues to 7 figures.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Adrian. Now it's time to dive into the Dreams into Apps blueprint. I highly encourage you to watch this video all the way through, because this video alone could be the difference between you getting left behind in the AI revolution or successfully riding the AI wave. So for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to teach you the 7-phase Dreams into Apps blueprint. Then we'll spend the last 10 minutes so I can tell you about the Dreams into Apps Academy, the first ever no-code AI app building program that turns you from dreamer to full stack app builder without needing to know anything about code. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a special offer to join the Dreams into Apps Academy that isn't available anywhere on our website or anywhere on the internet, just because we like to reward people who take action and are serious about their career growth. At Ambitious Labs, we are obsessed with our students' success and their results, as evident by over 350 5-star reviews and a perfect 5-star rating on Google. And that's why we are so confident that when you watch this training all the way through, you're going to walk away with specific, actionable steps to increase your earning potential and stand out from the crowd. Finally, we'll conclude a few minutes with some common questions and answers about Ambitious Labs and the Dreams into Apps Academy program that we get from builders every single day looking to enroll in one of our app building programs. Make sure to take notes and watch this in a distraction-free environment. Now we're going to jump into the computer so you can join me for the training. Let's go. Okay, so to begin, let's understand how apps were built before the 2024 AI revolution. Here you can see the high level architecture of how an app is built. Okay, first you have a front end or a UI. This is your interface that people actually click, tap, touch, and interact with. Okay, typically these front end UIs are built in frameworks like HTML, CSS, React, Swift, or Java. Okay, if you were a traditional coder, you actually had to hand code line by line what you wanted your app to look and feel like. Okay, and then typically a front end makes requests to a server. This is what brings the app to life. API servers are what contain the back-end business logic that actually make the app do things. These servers could typically be written in something like Node or Python, okay, or even Java. These are the three technologies that are very popular to build servers. Servers then talk to databases. There are three main databases in the world of software engineering: Firebase, MongoDB, and SQL. There are a lot of different types of databases as well, but these are the very common ones, okay? When you combine these three components, a front end, an API, and a database, you get what's called a full stack application. And that means you have an entire system that, when it works together, creates a flourishing app. So when you are interacting with an app on your phone, you're actually making requests to an API server, and your API server is reading and writing data to a database. Very simple, right? Well, it's not so simple before 2024, when you actually had to write every single line of code by hand. What you see here is an example of React code. So many web apps or websites that you use are built in a framework called React. And this is how you would write React. It looks very scary, daunting. It's super messy. You absolutely don't want to do this. And if you were to hire a developer, they would charge you $100 an hour plus to just write this line by line, just to put buttons and text on a screen. It's way easier than that, I promise. And if you wanted to build your own API server, you would have to write some crusty code that looks like this just to interact with the basic API server. But now in 2024, you don't need to have a computer science degree, and you don't even need to write code to build out these types of systems. You can do them without having a computer science degree, just by dragging, dropping, pointing, and clicking, and you can still have the same high quality, scalable app that is able to serve millions of users. Okay, so that's where the Dreams into Apps blueprint comes in, where now I'm going to teach you how you can become a sought-after no-code AI app builder just by following this 7-phase journey. This is the same journey that we've taken 1,000+ students on across 22 different countries, and our students have gone off to build really amazing app ideas, launch their own agencies, build revenue streams, and do a lot of really cool stuff. And it's very evident because of our 5-star ratings on Google, where we have students actually raving about our programs, talking about how amazing our learning experiences are, because we are not just an online course. We are a virtual academy obsessed over driving outcomes. If we don't drive outcomes, we are not successful. So when you work with Ambitious Labs, you can almost guarantee that you will walk away launching an app with us. Okay, so building apps isn't easy. If it was, everybody would do it. But as a disclaimer, if you walk away from this video and you feel like you understood even half of the content and you're super excited to learn the other half, then I would say your time watching this training is a massive success. If you choose to enroll into one of our programs, I'm positive we'll be able to close those learning gaps, because our content at Ambitious Labs is designed for people who have no coding background. 99% of our builders have zero coding experience, and they absolutely praise us because they believe that our content is so simple to understand that anybody can pick up how to build apps. So stick with me here. I promise it will be a little difficult, but that's exactly why we built Ambitious Labs, for ambitious people who aren't afraid to roll up their sleeves and trek uncharted territories. So if you ever thought about building an app, but you knew it was too hard because of coding, then this is absolutely for you. And without further ado, let's jump into the 7 phases. Now let's dive into phase 1, hyper niching. Hyper niching is the concept of coming up with an app idea that's uncontested, that has literally zero competition, that's absolutely ready to print cash. So how do we come up with an idea that's ready to print cash? Well, it starts by embodying the concept that the riches are in the niches, okay? This is a concept that most successful entrepreneurs understand, and even though the App Store is huge and that there are apps for almost everything, there are a lot of apps out there that are everything for everyone, but they're not anything for one type of person. They're still generating massive amounts of revenue, but there are a lot of small audiences within that customer base that could use their own specific solution. And that's what leads us to building a small product in a big market, which is exactly what Adrian, my co-founder, did when he was building his Chat Stories app. And I'll show you exactly how we do the market research to figure out what type of markets have huge amounts of money already flowing through them, and that you can build a very small product specific to a niche group of people and capture a significant sum of that pie. Okay. The number one reason app ideas fail is not because they didn't know how to code, not because they didn't have money. It's because they built an app that nobody wants to use. So by understanding niches and understanding that, hey, there may already be an app out there that does kind of what I want to do, but they're not really good at servicing one particular group of people, that is what is going to enable you to build an app that's pre-validated, that already has demand, and ensure you don't fall into this trap where you launch your app and all you hear are crickets. That happens way too often, and by following this hyper niching strategy, you will always launch an app that gets users on autopilot through organic app store search. So now let me show you an example of how the riches are in the niches. First, let me show you this app, Riz. It's literally a 3-page AI app, and all you do is upload a screenshot of your dating chat or a bio of somebody you might have matched with on Tinder or a dating app, and it uses AI to suggest ways that you can talk to them. Like, it just comes up with witty lines and replies. Literally, we can build this app in one day with our no-code stack, because all it is a front end, an API call to an AI, and then an integration with ChatGPT. And there are so many types of markets that are still ripe to be disrupted just by integrating ChatGPT and solving a problem for a niche group of people. That's literally all they do. You can download this app right now in the store. It's 3 pages, and they're printing $310,000 every single month. And you're going to be able to build an app exactly like this, because our stack also includes the monetization technique that they use for subscriptions and in-app purchases. And you can do this all without writing code. Riz is just one example. We might all be familiar with Headspace. It's a huge meditation app. They're doing $1 million a month, $940,000 in 1 month. Okay. But there are so many types of meditation, right? There's guided meditation, there's yoga meditation, there's music aided meditation, sleep meditation. There are so many types of meditation that you could absolutely build a very specific app for and capture even, say, 10% of this pie, 20% of this pie. That's $10,000 to $20,000. And people are already out there on the App Store searching for guided yoga meditation, guided sleep meditation, Hindu meditation, Buddhist meditation. There are so many little niches that we can help you find, and you can build an app that's very specific, or you may already be part of a niche through an audience that you have, through a community that you're part of, and you can go capture a big chunk of this pie, because Headspace is trying to be everything for everyone, and they're not one thing for one person. So mastering the art of researching is going to print you money. And that's perfectly visible with this app, Meditation Moments, which is just a sub-meditation app, still participating in the market and doing a whopping $90,000 a month, okay? And you're gonna get those downloads. Lure, this is the app that Adrian, my co-founder, built. He found that there was $1 million plus circulating every month in the chat stories space, where people were willing to pay to access stories that are outputted in the chat format. So him and his partner doubled down on romance love stories in the format of chat. And they were able to scale this business up to $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month. And as of today, they're still doing $30,000 a month working on this app part-time. And at the height of this app, when they were going full-time, spending a bunch of money on paid advertising, they got the app up to $400,000, okay? So yeah, this is phase 1, hyper niching, mastering the art of researching. And at Ambitious Labs, we're going to give you access to the research tools and a hyper niching tool that allows you to generate ideas or hyper niches for markets that are completely uncontested and have zero competition. You're going to get access to that in any one of our Ambitious Labs programs. Phase 2, planning. The number one reason that the world's tallest skyscrapers are completed on time, on budget, and never fall is because they were perfectly planned. The best people in the world to learn project management from are the Japanese engineers. The Japanese engineers coined a technique called Kanban. Kanban is a project management style that allows you to track what you need to do next, what's currently in progress, what needs to be tested, and what is absolutely done. And this project management technique isn't just limited to buildings. App developers, big and small, from startups to large corporations, use the Kanban project management strategy, okay? Because we believe that 70% of the game is planning and 30% of it is execution. If you clearly plan something, if you know exactly what you want to commit to, the odds of failing decrease significantly because you have a clear roadmap. So at Ambitious Labs, we take planning very seriously. We're going to teach you how to construct a bulletproof project plan using a Kanban style format. Each card you see here represents one specific feature in an app idea that I have. This particular app idea is an app that I'm building inside the academy called the AI Math Tutor. It's an AI-powered tutor to help high school algebra students solve problems quicker. I'm implementing a paywall, which allows me to monetize this app and charge my users. But the thing is that I'm clearly planning what I absolutely need and what I don't need. And this is where most app developers fail. So when you enroll in the Ambitious Labs Academy, we're going to teach you how to effectively plan so that you never fail on your project and that each one of your app ideas will always have a 100% completion rate and you won't accidentally veer off track because you didn't know where the track was headed in the first place. Phase 3, designing. I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of UI design for cash printing app ideas. Every app has the same exact ingredients that produce revenue. And we've cracked the code because our team of expert app developers of over 30 years of experience are literally going to hand you those ingredients on a silver platter. Okay, you don't need to be a graphic designer because we are literally going to hand you templates, UI kits that are custom designed and easy to drag, drop, and put together. Because the reality is you don't need to work harder, you need to work smarter. Do you think that people who are constructing homes are starting from scratch? No, they're using cookie cutter templates, modifying them to fit their needs, and then selling them at a margin, right? And you as a builder don't need to have a degree in computer science or UI UX design to build an app. So you might have heard of the tool called Figma. Figma is the leading UI UX design tool in the world used in schools and startups and companies. I'm literally going to give you pre-proven app templates that include all the ingredients to a successful app, like authentication, like a high converting onboarding flow where you can ask questions to your user, get an opportunity to earn their trust so that you can present them a paywall. This paywall is where you're going to ask them for money so that they can unlock access to your app. And actually, 66% of paywall subscriptions start during the onboarding process. Not many people know that. That means that before your app is even completely done, before people get a chance to use the core of your app, if you do this correctly, you can build a cash printing app because 60% of people will start a subscription before they even try it. So now you have another problem to solve. Okay, once you get somebody to start your subscription, now you have to give them an amazing app experience. And we're going to teach you exactly how to do that inside of the program. So you don't need to be a graphic designer to use Figma. You just need to know how to work smarter, not harder, and take advantage of our collection of free templates that are available to all of our builders. Phase 5, databases. Now I'm going to teach you how to bring your app to life by connecting your app to a Google backend that's perfectly capable of scaling to millions of users. The backend we're using is Google Firebase. This is used by millions of developers throughout the world, and even professional developers are using this. And we're going to teach you how you can build a professional level database by just pointing and clicking. The database that we're going to use is called Cloud Firestore. This is a very easy JSON database that you can use to read and write pieces of data that are synced across all your apps. So as people are using your app, you can have all the data be synced up in real time, and it's not as hard as it sounds. Let me jump into Flutterflow and show you how we would set this up. So all we have to do to connect this in Flutterflow is head over to our settings. Then we go to Firebase, click on Create Project in Firebase. We'll just say My Threads Clone. We'll set up the data server in the United States. I'll hit Sign In with Google. This prompts me to sign in with my Google account. Now it's going to create a brand new project in Firebase, very straightforward integration. This will then connect your front end to a database. And now as this project is getting created, we can start hooking up the logic for our application, right? So when a user wants to log into our app, this is a sign in or sign out system. We call this authentication in app development, okay? So all we would have to do to implement that sort of functionality is when a user clicks on this create account button, we'd go to the action flow editor, open up the action flow editor just to see that the template already has this built out for us. We're calling on this action called authentication, which creates an account. It says, hey, we're going to create an account with email. The email is going to be pulled from the email input field here. So as you can see, this email input field is titled email. The password input field is titled password. And when a user clicks on create account, we're just going to pull the email from the email field, the password from the password field. We need to pass in a confirm password. And then we need to create a database object called users so that every time a new user logs into our application, we're keeping track of the users who are using our app. That way we can count how many users we have. Very straightforward. Then when a user creates an account, we'll just navigate them to another screen. So you can see here how we use a block style approach to do stuff when users interact with our apps. It's really that easy. So now that we're connected to Firebase, Firebase also has an authentication provider where when a user creates an account, it will automatically add that account in Firebase. So if I head over to a project that I already have existing in Firebase and I tap on authentication, you can see right here that I have a list of all the users who are interacting with my app. And all I had to do was go to Flutterflow, connect it to Firebase, and then implement those actions, and boom, now I have a full stack application ready to go. APIs, or application programming interfaces. APIs are the building blocks of the internet. It's a daunting word, but it's really easy. APIs allow you to connect your apps to other apps. So I'm going to teach you how you can connect your app to external data sources or other apps like OpenAI in case you want to implement like ChatGPT AI functionality, or you want to build an app that integrates with another platform that you might be thinking of. It used to be really hard to implement APIs. You had to write code by hand, but now with our no-code tech stack, you can just drag and drop and integrate pretty much any API with ease. So we specialize in a tool called BuildShip. BuildShip allows you to build powerful APIs in minutes just by dragging and dropping and putting together APIs in a block style format, just like how you see here. BuildShip makes it super easy to integrate any API into your app. All you have to do is come here and say create workflow. They have plenty of templates already built. We're just going to hit add trigger, click REST API call. REST APIs are how you connect your front end to your back end API. Very simple to integrate. You will hit add node, and here BuildShip has a plethora of different integrations. Like you can integrate voice AI with 11 Labs, Discord, Firestore, Gemini, Google Cloud, Google Calendar. And if you want to integrate your own, you can just type REST API, use this API call, and literally integrate any other API in the entire world that you might know. And we're going to teach you exactly how to integrate APIs inside the Dreams and Apps Academy. We have an entire module on how you can read API documentation and integrate the inputs and the outputs of any API into your app. So if you want to bring AI functionality into your app or any other third-party APIs, you can do that with ease. And finally, phase 7, launching and marketing your app. Now I'm going to tell you how we're going to get you your first 1,000 users and $10,000 in revenue. Okay. Number 1, App Store search. This is free traffic and it's the number 1 most overlooked channel because it's not sexy and it's not paid ads. But if you get this right, your app will literally print hundreds of downloads per day. I know this because my app virally makes me $2,000 a month completely on autopilot because of App Store search. I don't spend $1 in advertising, but I rank number 1 for AI, social media assistant, go viral faster, social media AI. My app ranks number 1 and it prints me money and prints me traffic. We're going to teach you how to get this right using our research tools and using our lab room AI. You're going to be able to generate your own App Store search optimized listing, and we're going to make sure that you do it right so that you print traffic for free. Okay, now organic social media. This is cheap and effective. There are plenty of apps out there who are getting millions of downloads just by going viral on TikTok and Instagram Reels. And I say that with ease because honestly, it's not that hard to go viral on social media. We have an entire masterclass inside of Ambitious Labs on how to go viral pretty much every single time on social media. Once you crack the code on how to go viral, you can use this to print installs for your app, which will turn into conversions because if you follow our protocol for building a high converting onboarding flow, you'll literally make money as you sleep. Then we have influencer marketing, which is extremely high quality. Influencers will only work with you if you are very tightly coupled to a niche. They won't work with you if you have a huge vision and you're trying to be everything for everyone. Find an influencer, find a niche, build an app that helps their niche, and they will respect you a lot more. You can pay them a few $100s and they're going to blast your app and get you thousands of downloads, and they're going to support you like a raving fan. And then lastly, the most expensive but most scalable one is paid advertising. This one does require deeper pockets, but we have the experience at Ambitious Labs. We've ran $10 million plus in paid advertising for high growth apps for our own businesses and for our portfolio companies. And we can absolutely help you when this time comes. But honestly, you should be able to get to that $10,000, if not more revenue number using these free and cheap strategies, okay? All right, so at this point, you're probably asking yourself, how can I learn no-code app building? And I've outlined 4 ways in particular that you can use to get started right now. Number 1 is heading over to the Ambitious Labs YouTube channel, where I have over 100 free trainings on everything from building your first app to launching and getting your app into the store, getting your first users, generating revenue, and I even have a ton of content on how you can actually sell your app on a marketplace like acquire.com for a minimum of $10,000 or more. Number 2, You can head over to the official Firebase and Flutterflow documentation and read through hundreds of pages. But this is still only going to make you a spectator, and you're not actually going to be in the trenches building something. And Mark Zuckerberg said it best: move fast and break things is the best way to launch something innovative. Number 3, you can definitely hire a one-on-one coach. They're all over Fiverr.com, and they charge a minimum of $100 an hour to look over your shoulder and teach you step-by-step how to build an app. Or number 4, the Dreams into Apps Academy. The Dreams into Apps Academy is not just your ordinary online course. This is an AI-powered, immersive learning experience that takes you from being just someone with ideas to actually building and launching something in just a matter of weeks. Let me show you exactly how. Cool. So the first thing that you get when you join the Dreams into Apps Academy is access to 100+ premium step-by-step video lessons on no-code app building. You're gonna get lifetime access to a custom AI-powered learning platform that we built especially for no-code app builders. You will unlock one phase at a time inside our custom learning platform because courses typically have a 5% completion rate, and we don't want you to be part of the bottom 95% of the internet. We want you to be part of the top 5%. Next, you get access to a vibrant support community of over 1,000 builders and experts from all over the world. These are people ranging from novice builders all the way to millionaire app startup founders who you can learn from in real time and not make the same mistakes as they're making, and come together as a community to learn from one another. Our Discord is 24/7 moderated by our full-time builder success team, which includes a community moderator, multiple expert Flutterflow coaches, senior student mentors, and other startup founders. These are workshops that are held by me or members of my team where you can come learn complex topics. And yes, you get access to all the recordings inside of our custom learning platform for every single lesson lab we've ever done, which is hours and hours of content. And this is where our differentiation comes in. You're not just buying a course, you're getting access to an AI-powered learning experience. So I present to you the Lab Room, your app building co-pilot. This is a place where you can incubate your app ideas and watch them unfold into flourishing businesses. Ambitious Labs has been around since early 2022, and since then we've interviewed thousands of builders and identified exactly what they struggle on, and we've developed an AI co-pilot that literally takes all the pain away from building an app project. You can manage your projects inside the Lab Room so you don't lose track of where you are, and you can guarantee your app success. You can design complex databases because we found that this is by far the #1 place that most builders struggle. Lastly, you can validate your app ideas because inside the Lab Room, we also have features that help you identify your business model, your ideal customer profile, and some of the more fundamental business concepts that most builders get wrong pretty much all the time. Cool. So since Ambitious Labs is the #1 no-code app building academy in the world, we've brought on expert instructional designers to design a program that certifies you as a no-code full-stack developer. So here's how you earn your certification inside the Dreams and Apps Academy. Number 1, you finish all lessons and submit all assignments. You pass all the assessments within each phase that proves you understand the material that was acquired during that phase. Number 3, you launch your first app. You can pick from our selection of pre-proven app ideas, or you can bring your own idea into the program and accelerate it using the Dreams into Apps methodology. Number 4, you will earn the certificate after you complete those steps and submit your app for review from one of our expert coaches. We are going to make sure that your app is fully functional and doesn't contain any bugs so that we can certify you. You can leverage your first project to kickstart your portfolio, land jobs at early stage startups, or you can use it to supercharge your resume by listing yourself as a technical startup founder for the company that you've started. That's exactly what I did to kickstart my career, and it completely changed my life and landed me gigs that paid me very well over 6 figures. So when you obtain your certificate and you're looking for a job at an early stage startup, we got you covered because Ambitious Labs runs a program called the Accelerator, which is for early stage startup founders who are super serious about one particular idea and they spend day and night obsessing over that idea. So when you finish the Dreams and Apps Academy and earn your certification, we will place you at one of our early stage startups inside of our accelerator. We have over 120 active startups that are currently working with us to bring their ideas to market, and we can place you as a junior developer, an apprentice, or even a technical startup co-founder of one of these companies that are looking for your help to accelerate their app idea and bring it to market as a profitable business. And that's the power of building a community. Your net worth is your network, okay? And when you join Ambitious Labs, you're gonna be part of an elite builder community of serious people from all across the world. Ambitious Labs builders represent over 20 countries, and I'm sure by the time you're watching this video, there will be more representation from more countries, and that's why we've built a coaching staff and a coaching system that literally covers every time zone across the world. But the one thing I hate is when a company sells you something and then asks you to take your credit card out again, and I do not want to be the founder of that company. So I've negotiated special perks for our builders at Ambitious Labs with both Flutterflow and BuildShip. Flutterflow and BuildShip have agreed to give you all 2 months of the best plan that they have to offer, the premium plan of both, which is a $240 value. And you do not need to take your credit card out to get access to these features. You're gonna have the best version of all the software that you're gonna need to launch your app idea. We've done that because we have really strong ties in the no-code community. Abel and Harini, the CEO of Flutterflow and BuildShip, are huge proponents of what we're doing here, making no-code app building available to the masses. We're extremely thankful for their support, and they are with us every step of the way. So it's safe to say you have their word when you work with Ambitious Labs, otherwise they wouldn't be giving us these amazing perks to offer directly to you to get started now. So the choice is now yours. You can choose to go off on your own and learn how to build apps yourself. I'm sure it'll take you over 2 years and you're gonna learn the hard way. Or you trust our 30 plus years of app development experience, learn from our scar tissue, our wounds, our blood, sweat, and tears, and let us take you on the right path correctly the first time. So take a moment to imagine who you could be 12 weeks from now. Either you're going to take action today and you're going to have an app launched with all the skills of bringing any idea to life forever, or you're gonna look back 12 weeks from now and be like, damn, I wish I took the leap of faith because I'm still exactly where I started. Okay. I promise you I'm done selling. But before you make a decision, take a moment to listen to one of our builders, Sage, who learned the hard way that she shouldn't go on this journey on her own.
I went through 3 other developers before I found Aleem. And I only found Aleem by accident on YouTube one night, running around on YouTube. And Aleem, I thought about this morning. You did some lesson about databases where because I have to have a many-to-many database, and you made that so clear. It was just like you were teaching a first grader would understand what you had said. I mean, which is probably where I was at with databases at the time. That I thought, I got to find this guy and work with him. And it was like the next day that I hunted you down online. And yeah, and this is the most progress I have made in 2 months.
My objective for you is not to sell you just another collection of videos or a course from a YouTube content creator, because that's not who Ambitious Labs is. Ambitious Labs is a VC-backed no-code app building academy, and we're on a mission to challenge business schools, coding boot camps, and hiring developers from freelance networks. My objective for you is to give you a clear path to success, inspired by my 10 years of startup entrepreneurship experience and my team's combined experience building profitable app businesses. We know exactly what it takes to launch a successful app business, and we are serving you on a silver platter the path to success. When you join Ambitious Labs, you're gonna have access to our mentorship, and our mission is to never let you feel alone. I'm also very well aware that in order to launch a successful app, you need a collection of tools. And so we've packaged up an AI-driven immersive learning experience that gives you the clear path to success, the mentorship that you need, and every tool you can possibly imagine to exterminate the risk of you failing in your app project. I firmly believe that I was put on this planet to package all of this up and hand it to you on a silver platter so that you can achieve the same type of success that I have and our builders at Ambitious Labs are currently seeing. And why are we doing all this? So that you have all the skills you need to bring any of your app ideas to life for the rest of your life and join the top 1% of builders on the internet. Okay, so are you ready to turn your dreams into apps? If the answer is yes, I personally invite you to join Dreams into Apps Academy. Use code Let's Build, no spaces, for 30% off the Dreams into Apps Academy. Hope your heart is pumping because mine sure is. But now let's take a moment to slow down and go through some frequently asked questions from people who are on the fence about joining Dreams into Apps Academy. How much technical experience do I need to be successful inside of Dreams into Apps? Great question. So first of all, you do not need to have a computer science degree. but you do need to have working knowledge of using browser-based apps like Canva, Google Slides, or even like a drag and drop website builder. If you've built a basic website before in a website builder like Wix, Squarespace, or something like that, you're probably a great fit. But in my eyes, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So the main thing that you need to ask yourself is, are you ambitious and do you love a good challenge? If you fear challenges, this is not for you. But if you're ready to roll up your sleeves, I promise you this will be the most rewarding experience of your life. Number 2, why shouldn't I just learn how to code instead of learning no code? To precisely answer this question, let's take a look at the evolution of software engineering. Back in 1979, we had 1G internet, where programs were written in binary, ones and zeros. Then in 1991, with 2G, programs started being written in a language called assembly. In 2001, when 3G was around, this is when the iPhone first started proliferating, we started building programs using C, C++, and Java, and this is when the computer science degree really blew up into mainstream because everything was going digital and we had a massive shortage of software developers. Then in 2009, we had 4G, where now more high-level languages like Swift, PHP, Python, Node.js, these are higher-level languages that make it even easier to build apps. You didn't have to know low-level systems, memory management, garbage collection. These are all terms from lower-level programming languages. But then in 2009, with the rise of these high-level languages, you could start taking a lot of the computer systems for granted. That same trend is exponentially carrying on into 2024 in the 5G era, where internet is really close to real time, and now it's getting even easier to build apps using no code and AI. These are tools that you can literally drag, drop, point, click, and build out systems that are actually writing code under the hood for you. So you're still doing the same things as a traditional software developer would, you're just working a lot smarter, not harder, by pointing, clicking, dragging, and dropping. So to land the plane and answer the question, you need to learn no code, low code, and AI to be ahead of the trend in 2024 and beyond, because history repeats itself. And if this trend continues, it's only going to get easier and easier to build software. So learning no code, low code, and AI is the equivalent of learning a programming language, except you, the human, are the programmer. What kind of apps can I build? This is a great question. You can build a ton of different types of apps, but many app ideas we see fall into a few different buckets. Number 1, content, fitness, and health. Say you want to start a virtual personal training business or a diet challenge app, or you have content that you want to monetize, like a storytelling app. You want to charge monthly or annual subscriptions to unlock content, like say you want to distribute workouts to users, distribute stories, meditations, things like that. Number 2, e-commerce. You can absolutely build marketplaces, you can process payments via Stripe, and it's fully customizable. Then we have AI SaaS, which is a very hot industry right now. A lot of people are building AI-powered apps because there's a ton of niche audiences that are very underserved that you could build a very specific AI solution for and capture a good percentage of the market. It's very easy to charge monthly or annual subscriptions for these apps. Then we have e-commerce. E-commerce is great to build with our no-code stack because it's fully customizable. You can integrate payments with Stripe, and you have access to all the underlying code. So there's nothing that you couldn't do. B2B SaaS apps are possible as well. So if you want to build a web app, not a mobile app, you can absolutely do it with our no-code stack. Say you want to build a custom CRM, a task management tool, an ERP, something for your business. Our stack also allows you to integrate with any REST API out there. So there's pretty much nothing that you can't integrate. How long does it take to build a successful app? Well, it can take weeks or it can take months. It just depends on how much work you put in. But let me give you a really good example. Luis launched his app startup called Vora in 10 weeks. He was working a full-time job and building this mornings, nights, and weekends. All the extra time that he had was going into launching his app startup. So he built this in 10 weeks, and it's a fully functioning, commercialized app. So meaning it's out there in the world, he's getting paying customers, paying users, and he's running the app business like a CEO would. So he's done this in 10 weeks. We have other builders who launch MVPs in less than 4. So if you can dedicate around 15 hours per week to your app idea, you should also be able to launch within 12 weeks. What is not possible to build? Well, this is super important because yes, no code, low code does have some limitations. So let's squash them right now if you're thinking about building one of these apps. If you want to build a 3D app, like something AR or VR, you don't want to go with this stack. It's absolutely not possible. We don't even want to try at the current state of its technology. Maybe in the future, you can come back and see if we support it. Number two, IoT systems. So if you want to connect with like physical objects like drones or planes or cars, Apple Watches, anything that's going to be very hard to do with the stack, that requires like WebSocket technology, which is absolutely available. Number two is IoT apps, Internet of Things apps. So if you're trying to build an app that connects to like physical objects like an Apple Watch, a heart rate monitor, a car, a drone, that's going to be a little bit tricky. It's possible technically, you use a technology called WebSockets. It's just currently not compatible with the no-code stack. And honestly, after talking to over 5,000 entrepreneurs, those are the only two types of apps that I don't think work well with the Ambitious Labs tech stack. Everything else typically does. How much does it cost to run these no-code tools? Because nothing is free, but I will say that running a no-code business is a lot cheaper than running a physical business. I hope you recall that you get 2 months Flutterflow Pro for free when you join Dreams into Apps. And then after that, you can downgrade to the standard $30 a month version and you should get all the features that you need to launch your app. So you can expect to pay about $30 a month to Flutterflow. And then the other important cost is Firebase, which is going to be your backend. This is your database, your authentication provider, and they have a really generous free plan. You can get away to thousands of users without paying a dime to Firebase. I have an app called Virally that has about 2,000 monthly active users. I'm paying about $5 a month to run my backend. And you can head over to Firebase and use their pricing calculator to calculate how much your price would come out to. It should just be a couple dollars, but frankly, if you have a high bill for your backend, that means you have a lot of interaction with your app. You probably have 100,000 users or more, and that's a great problem to have because at that point you should be making a lot more than $100 a month. So I wouldn't overthink it. Good things happen as you scale, and that's what these platforms are built for. So the total cost to run these no-code apps, month 1 and 2, since you get it all covered from us, $0. After month 2, you can expect to pay about $30 per month. And then the max you'll pay, I don't even pay this for any of my apps right now, $100 a month. And that's when you're pushing like 100,000 users every single month. But again, like that's a great problem to have. Can I integrate with APIs and third parties? Say that you want to build an app that relies on another platform. This is a great business model, by the way. We call it picks and axes. Yes, you absolutely can. As long as any platform out there has a REST API, you can integrate with it using our no-code stack. Flutterflow allows you to integrate REST APIs, and then BuildShip is our API builder, which allows you to build your own custom backend functionality. We're going to teach you a low-code backend builder called BuildShip that allows you to point, click, drag and drop and create your own custom APIs. So if there's an API or a platform out there that you want to integrate with, you can easily do so by connecting your REST APIs together, and we'll teach you exactly how to do that inside of Dreams into Apps. I can't wait to see you in Discord. I'm excited to welcome you in. Best of luck in your builder journey. My name is Aleem, founder and CEO. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.
So the reason I joined Ambitious Labs is I really wanted access to Flutterflow experts, really wanted access to a community of like-minded no-coders who are also learning and growing on their journey as well.
I think the tech stack itself makes sense to me. I think the team and the emphasis is do it yourself.
They're awesome. They have taught me a huge amount. I have put out an app in both Google and Apple Store, and I have Flutterflow open on my desktop working on a second one.
I love the guys at Ambitious Labs. They are incredible. So yeah, from the first couple phone calls we had, I had a great energy. They were professional, friendly. Frankly, they were young and smart like I am, and I really appreciated kind of that sense of community there. And they were interested. They totally understood what I was looking for, and they were willing to make the program work for me. So I'm super, super grateful for them, and just utilizing their expertise on a regular basis has allowed me to really make the most out of the experience and create what I wanted to create as fast as I could have hoped for.
Joining the Ambitious Labs program has been amazing. It has given me the structure that I much needed to have a clear goal, a clear path to reach that goal as well. So going from one design business to now starting to build and connecting to a backend that I have never done before has been a really nice process doing it together with them.
Finding Ambitious Labs was just like God sent, first off. It was a fluke. I was just on LinkedIn, do not know how to code, have no background in coding, and to be honest with you, I'm a person, and I know there's many people out there that are just like me. I thrive on instant gratification. Programming, coding, you don't get instant gratification from programming and coding. It takes months, if not, years of development in order to see that project, that one page come to life. I know you can structure the entire app in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. To build the entire app in 3 weeks, I was like, nah. I was skeptical, but we made it happen, for sure, for sure. I finally found my tribe. Someone or a group of people that had a shared mission.
My name's Ayomi Samrawera. I'm the founder of Canopy. I'm a non-technical founder, which is why when I saw this course, I was super excited about the possibility of being able to build on low code and at least developing my understanding of building on low code. I think it's really cool now. I can actually go into Figma and I know how to now wireframe myself. I know there's net wireframes that we need, and I'm probably going to do that myself. So that's super cool.
I had just ditched my third developer, and guys, I got to tell you, thousands of dollars paid in tuition. I mean, I just consider that money gone now. It was tuition. My next book is going to be How to Not Get Ripped Off When Developing an App.
Let's see. So we've done AI Bible Buddy. That's the one that's on the App Store now. We're actually looking at, for the first month, we're on track to have 100 users for the first month. So, and we haven't done any promotional and nothing like that. So it's been kind of cool just to see, like, you put something on the App Store, you haven't, promoted it at all, and you're actually getting users, people using it. I said I was touching on the monetary side of it, but touching on the overall value, you're really just giving people, the means to do things for themselves. So just the overall value, it's exponential. It's just crazy because you can take something like take this course, and then in 6 months, you're in a completely different place than you were 6 months before.
Conclusions, I guess. How many apps have you built since you've learned Flutterflow?
We're on number 4. Like, we have 3 that we're ready to get out by next week.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I believe you and your brother started a consulting firm. What are you guys doing around Flutterflow?
It's me and my dad and my brother. We're starting a mobile app development company.
That's awesome.
So why I joined the virtual cohort, is because I started developing with OpenAI API, with React, Node, and eventually I found out that it's taking too much time. And I found that no coding Flutterflow, and I wanted to learn how to use that. And so far, my experience has been wonderful.